Real-time edit today. I got this beautiful black-throated blue warbler, lovely male that I photographed this past fall at Dry Tortugas off the coast of Florida out in the Gulf of Mexico. So let's get started. Let's jump right into it. Do a little bit of crop here. I'm just going to try and offset them just a little bit there because I definitely shot it centered because I did not have time to compose in camera. And I think that should about do it. And I did just a little rotation to kind of keep that branch a little bit closer to vertical. Actually, I got to say, I don't think I like the rotation, so I'll back off of that. There we go. All right. White balance is just a little too cool. I want to get a little bit more warmth to it, I guess. I want to kick the shadows up, exposure up a little bit, get more detail in the blacks there, but bring that black slider back down for contrast. And then lastly, I think I'll just put a big old graduated filter on there, feather it up a little bit, drop the exposure, drop the highlights, just kind of get that outside everything to kind of get a little bit darker, kind of bring your eye into the bird a little bit more. And I think that's a good starting point. I'm going to try and maybe do a few interesting things with this one in Photoshop. So let's head on over there and see what we can do. Oh, I have my photo open from the last one of these I recorded. There we go. All right, so first things first, I'm going to do some cloning. I'm going to get rid of some stuff here that I just find a little distracting. So step one, I'm going to get rid of this branch going across the leaf there. So let's see if I can easily do that. Shouldn't be too big a deal. I'm going to switch over to the spot healing brush, kind of see if I can pop most of it out right there, and then just use the clone tool to kind of clean back up what it didn't do great with, but it did pretty decent to get rid of that. All right, and we'll just continue getting rid of the rest of this. I do want to make sure to keep that vein in the leaf there. So I don't want to remove that. And yeah, I'm just going to stick with the clone tool at this point because I think it's getting a little too detailed for the spot healing brush to keep up. And I do think that branch was probably connected to this leaf, but no way anybody would know that in the end. All right, I'm just going to throw a mask on this, bring back the tail there, and then kind of clean up this edge. There we go. And let's get in here with a little smaller, softer brush and just kind of clean that up. There we go. Nice and accurate. All right. There was another one. These up here, I don't know. They don't bother me that much, but maybe I'll just kind of soften them up so they're just barely there. So again, just using the clone tool here, just kind of soften those hard lines. And the main reason I'm not liking those hard lines, well, there's two reasons. There's a color difference there, but also everything else in this, all these leaves, other than the branch it's perched on, are all like nice soft round curves. And then all of a sudden you got like these random straight lines just kind of cutting right through. And so, yeah, just visually, I think I've just found them a little bit distracting. So I think just softening them up like that is plenty. And then this was the only other thing that was really bugging me, was how this one, the backside of that leaf is just intersecting the bill there. It's like, come on, bird, couldn't you lean your head out just a little bit? Give me a little bit more separation there. So I'm going to try to get rid of that piece of the leaf. We'll see how this goes. It's not the easiest clone there because I don't have a lot to start with here. And I don't have a lot to kind of fade in from the bottom here either. But I think there's just enough. As you can see, I'm kind of expanding these open areas a little bit more and just kind of, and then I'll try and blend them together right here in a second. Once I get rid of the leaf, then I'll start doing some blending. And this needs to be, I mean, it's really soft up here where it naturally was, so I kind of have to revisit that to kind of soften up these edges there. That's getting better. Something like that. I don't know, I'm just kind of taking it back and forth. And then I definitely need to blend that. That needs like a nicer fade. So I'm just trying to clone from the top down and then from the bottom up. Oops. A little bit too big a brush there. I kind of started cloning up the bill, which I don't want to do. Actually, you know what? Just getting rid of the bill will make my job easier. There we go. Now I can do a nice soft fade on that. Yeah, that's looking better. All right, let's zoom out. Yeah, that's good shape on the leaf. We got a nice fade from the brown to the green there. Excellent. Yeah, I think that'll work. All right, let's mask back in the edge of this branch, which could use a little bit harder edge brush here. But I don't want like a really sharp edge brush because it's a little soft on the edge of that branch just because it's becoming out of focus there. Let's check out what I have with that leaf. I think that's where it should go, right there. And then obviously we need to bring back the bill of the bird, but that's super easy to do now with this layer mask. And then we'll just cut that out rather precisely. And there we go. Yeah, I gotta say, overall, that just feels cleaner now. Look at that. Just get that leaf out from behind it there. Now it's got the bill standing out nicely. All right, now let's get to some dodging and burning. So I'm just gonna burn down some of these brighter areas over here, back here. Behind the head, I think I'll leave that one a little bit lighter. Leave that one lighter. And then let's do a little bit of dodging just on the bird's head here. I don't want those blacks to go too light. And then we'll go in and just kind of really just enhance the nice catch light that's there, reflecting the sky. And then, because I was shifting some white balance around, let's kind of make the blue of the black-throated blue stand out a little bit more as well. Probably went a little cyan there. So there we go. Let me just get it painted in. I'm not going to be too precise along the back edge here. Just use a soft brush and kind of rough it in there. Just because the back edge is also a little soft to begin with. And then I'm just mainly going to paint the areas that show some blue to begin with. And then a little bit along the tail here, because that does have hints of blue on it. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Nice. All right, probably a little bit much, so I'll just back off to like 70% opacity. And then I think I'm just going to do one more bit of burning up here on this particular leaf, just because it was really bright and calling attention. And then I think the last thing I'm going to do is maybe just try to give all those leaves and everything just a little bit more green, because I do think my white balance just got shifted a little bit to magenta. And maybe like yellow. So yeah, something like that's looking good. It's getting a little bit cyan on the bird, so I'll back off of that on the bird there. And then I think that's gonna do it right there. So before, after. Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, I think that cleaned up everything quite nicely. Let's get that saved. We'll hop back into Lightroom, check it compared to the original, and see the difference in the end. Shouldn't be anything too major other than just obviously that nice cleanup there, but color and contrast, it should be a little bit more vivid, I think, is what we're going to see here. We're going to get the final image on the right-hand side here in a second. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Look at the color and contrast, how much better that stands out. You can see there's like these blue magenta tones throughout, both in the leaves, the branches here especially. Like, look at that, like how magenta this branch is. And I think that that branch should be a nice brown. And here you can see it totally cleaned up. We got a nice strong blue, way more detail in the blacks on the bird here in the final, yet the main black areas like this that don't have detail in the eye are still nice and rich. So that's basically what we're looking for here. And then, yeah, I think just that little leaf piece coming out of there just kind of cleaned up the opening that the bird is in there. So it's just a little bit less busy. And then again, losing that distracting branch down there on the tail, I think cleaned it up as well. So again, nothing major. You know, I still feel like I kept the original intent of this photo, just kind of cleaning up a few minor distractions and a nice easy edit. I don't think it took us too long. Yep, under 10 minutes. That's how most of these go. So, you don't have to spend a ton of time on these photos to get them to look a lot better, in my opinion. And like if we go before and after, there's a big difference in the look of that. This was not bad to begin with, but the attention for me is kind of going out here to all these brighter areas. The color looks off. The contrast is just a little lacking in certain areas. And then we go here and our greens get nice and rich and vibrant, and yet the bird feels like it's lit a little bit more, so it's standing out. This is the now brightest area of the photo entirely, so just brings my attention in there. And so all that subtle dodging and burning, I think, makes a big difference. So thanks so much for watching on this one. Hope you got a lot out of it. If you want to learn more from me, please hop on over to rayhennessy.com. I've got tons of new content every single day there. New photos every day, behind the scenes videos. I got a video podcast that comes out every Saturday where me and another photographer pick 5 of our favorite photos from other photographers and talk about those. So that is the I think you can see it right here, Photographer's Favorite Show. I got the behind the scenes videos, obviously a ton of these real-time edit videos. So lots of video content coming out. And then if you go over to the workshops and hit the online workshop section, which is where I'm showing you right now, you get options for the remote sessions. The online Lightroom photography course shows you everything I know about how I use Lightroom for wildlife photography. The online bird photography course to learn how I shoot in the field, more about gear, technique, lighting, all that kind of stuff, and then mentorships if you want to work on an ongoing basis with me. Thanks so much. Please do me a favor. If you really like this content, what I'm putting out, please share this. The more people that see this, the more motivation and ability I have to keep these videos coming. For a while now, I've been doing them, just putting them out there just for fun. But at a certain point, I'm going to need to get a bigger audience so I can kind of keep these things going. So please share them with your friends and fellow wildlife photographers. That helps me out a lot, and I really appreciate you doing that. Thanks so much. I'll see you on the next one.